When you're blue and kinda lonely too, you'll find a smile will go a long, long way. Though you're down, don't sit around and frown. A little smile will go a long, long way. Never grieve, just try to make believe the sky is blue, although you know it's gray. Don't you pine, it's just a waste of time. You'll find a smile will go a long.
Welcome to Ron and Jen's Great Escape. It's episode 88. Hopefully it's great. Hopefully it's great.
Hopefully. I mean, it may suck.
No reaction to that.
Yeah, I know.
No reaction whatsoever.
It's
Anyway,
going to be great. We
it's
have
our
an
Easter
oversized
show.
chicken.
It's our Easter show.
Or duck.
Get into Peeps a little bit later on and also talk about how in the world did the rabbit and eggs become a symbol of Easter? And that'll be our, where did that come from?
Where did that come from?
Where the hell did that come from segment, all right?
Well, can I just make mention since we're just starting the show? Ron,
Sure.
not where the hell. What the hell is going on with the winner of the license plate? Do you know that? I don't know. I know that this is old news, but what is not old news is if you go online
Yeah.
and if you see all of the comments, you've got people saying that whoever decided this, they must have been in a psych ward because it's the same thing.
It is the same
except with
thing.
a little bit of cursive writing. That's the only difference.
And I was looking
Really?
at how many people voted on it. Something like 150,000. That's it.
That can't
That's
be
it.
right.
Plus, you could multiple times you could vote for it. So whoever designed it probably ramped up all the voting. It's terrible.
It's a scam. It can't be real.
It is just as dull can possibly be.
It's
like
dull,
it's
man.
like it's like poi. It is beyond
Like what?
boring. Poi. You know that Hawaiian crap tastes like.
I've never had poi.
I haven't either. I'm just assuming it tastes very bland because it looks bland. It looks like wallpaper paste. But here you are, smack dab in the middle of the ocean state that has the Rhode Island School of Design. And that's what we get?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm just saying, it's so pathetic.
It
It's
is.
so boring. And to celebrate it, I mean, and I hate to.
But if I get a new plate, I'm happy. Because,
Whoa.
I got vanity plates, and I've had
Yeah.
the same plates for since I was 10.
See, you should have a Mr. Potato Head on that vanity
No,
plate.
I'm
That's
out.
cool.
No
Mr. Potato Head's
no
cool.
Mr. Potato Head until Hasbro stops messing around with our heads in terms of, we might move, we might pull out of Rhode Island. No.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they stopped messing with our heads because they went. What did they do? There's no Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head.
Well, they
This
went woke.
They went woke. 2 years ago, they went woke. But then back on the shelves, it said retro Mr. Potato Head. So now they're trying to sell the kicking it old school.
They never had to make any adjustments at all because if
I
you
don't
stop
think
and think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, they didn't have genitalia.
No, they're non-binary.
Right.
Technically.
I mean, you buy...
They identify as Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah, but all the little gizmos that you get with it, there's no coolie. And
Thank God.
there's no TikTok.
Not yet.
No coolie and no TikTok.
Not
so,
yet.
They didn't have to change it. Crazy. Yeah, so much for that plate. Blech. Bland as bland
Anyway, that's
can
that.
be.
I just saw some people saying stuff online. I was dying.
When the hell is little buddy going to prison? I
don't
mean,
know.
I'll drive the SOB. I mean, the blank-stained former mayor of Fall River, Yasiel Correa, receives his seventh get out of prison, stay out of prison card. All right, another delay. Now, the judge says he's going to report April the 22nd, and the judge says he's not going to extend his bail any longer. You know why he extended it in the first
This time,
place?
no, I don't.
Oh, you know why he did it the last time? So he could work in his sister's restaurant. What the hell is that?
I don't know. I mean, you've got to want. And the thing about it is, most of us, we could care less about the guy. I mean, he's a criminal, and that's bad. But here's the thing: why is he getting special treatment?
I have no idea.
I want him to go to jail now. Go
6
to
years.
jail
Get
and
out.
cry when you leave because you did bad things to
Right.
the citizens of your community, and you deserve to go to jail.
Beyond his community, he got suckers all over the place with that scam thing that he was, a Snow Owl or some stupid app that he created. The judge, this is interesting, the judge wrote in this filing that Correa should not have his bail extended any longer. Now, the reason he did it for number 7, lucky number 7, roll those dice, lucky 7, is he wants to give Correa the opportunity to appeal the decision to the First Circuit by April the 11th. Wow. So by the time this drops, hopefully he drops into prison someplace, a gated community.
And, people would say, I mean, here's the thing, oh, well, you shouldn't be judging anybody, Jen. You're a Christian. I get a lot of that. And
He's been found guilty.
Well, that's the thing. When you commit crimes or you do bad things, guess what? And I found out, too, in my life, there's consequences to actions. And that's it. And you have to deal with it.
Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's even God is a God of justice. Society is hopefully a just society, but the tide is turning on that one.
I mean,
you've got criminals committing crimes on top of crimes on top of crimes.
The man's been found guilty.
I know, but
send him where he needs to be.
Well,
all right, send him to prison. Here on this one, the Boston Marathon folks, they're banning runners from Russia and Belarus. Boston Marathon says no. Over Russia's.
How do you say no in Russian, though?
I have no
idea.
idea.
See, that would have been great if you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't prep that way. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Belarus. That's it. Boston Athletic Association says get out.
I'm looking it up.
Get out. How do you say get out? How do you say get out in Russian?
How do you say get out?
Egg prices are on the rise.
Yeah, they sure are.
Big time. You know why?
Because of the bird flu.
Bird flu.
Or something like
U.S.
that.
Department of Agriculture saying tens of millions of infected chickens and turkeys have been destroyed in an attempt to stop the spread. Forbes reports that egg prices have risen to the tune of 52% since the start of the year. So that if you're wondering why, the specific reason you're shelling out more money for eggs as you shell out more money for everything else, it's you can blame it on the bird flu.
Well, I will say this, though. I think I found it. How do you say it in Russian? I think I hit this button.
All right. Hold it up to the...
You hear that?
Once again. Ugaraysa?
Yeah, I guess.
Ugaraysa?
I hope she's saying get out.
What was that, get out?
I don't have my glasses.
Yeah, we can say whatever we want. It's a podcast.
Well, I know, but she could be saying, grab your crotch, hey?
It's fine. She could be saying, grab your Quinny and your TikTok. We don't even
know.
What's your favorite kind of music?
I don't have a favorite. I mostly, if you ask me, it would be jazz, blues.
Oh, okay.
I tend to like jazz, blues, Motown stuff.
Okay. Rock is still America's favorite music, but not among young people. Rock is still America's #1, according to a CBS News YouGov survey. Rock topped the list when all respondents were asked their favorite music from a list of 7 genres, 32%. Christian was big in gospel music at 10%. Do you listen to that?
I do. That's mostly what I listen to. I don't. This is how we say it. So if you're Christian, you listen to Christian rock, and then sometimes you dabble with secular music. That's how you say it. So secular music.
I got it.
Mostly I listen to because it's uplifting. It makes you happy.
A
lot of music makes you sad. Don't you cry?
Do I cry?
Yeah. Sometimes I listen to music and I secular now and I cry.
No, not really. Oh, no. It all depends on the situation.
I don't need therapy. I'm just saying.
And if I'm gassed, that's
that doesn't
thing.
Help. Yeah.
A former HJY jock posted on Facebook the other day.
That. Yeah.
And
I didn't know who he was.
Yeah. What's his name again?
Yeah,
Pete.
exactly.
Pete Silva.
I'm not trying to be mean.
Pete did weekends for HJY for years and years and years. I programmed HJY in 1987. 1 year I programmed that. They're still playing the same music for the most part.
Yeah, it's timeless. Bad Company, Led Zeppelin.
I can basically, and again, I programmed it,
Dream on,
35 years ago.
Yeah.
And I can still tell you, for the most part, what's going to come out, what's a classification of an A song that's going to come out at the top of the hour. And for the most part, I'm like, okay, here comes Aerosmith. Okay, here comes Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It's like the same stuff.
Yeah, Tom Petty.
Yeah, Tom Petty and his 3 chords. Did you know that April is Distracted Driving Month?
I did not know
so
that.
So be on your guard, get set, and go. Fatalities up 12% through the first 9 months of 2021, by the way. The breakdown, 39% of Gen Z and millennials think it's safe to be using the phone while they're driving. Think about that for a second. It's okay to use your phone while you're driving. What a brouillon.
Well, I used to think, and we didn't have phones back in the 80s, but God, Listen, I'm glad my father is not. I mean, I'm not happy he's dead, but I'm glad he's not alive to hear what I'm about to say because he'd flip. So he lent me his car, which was the first mistake. And so I was hanging out with this guy named Travis, and I think we had smoked some weed. No. And I decided to go home. It was midnight, and I was taking one of these off ramps in my father's small station wagon going 80 miles an hour. You're supposed to go 25.
Not good.
I think the car lifted up on 2 tires, and what I'm trying to say is I thought that was okay. I didn't think anything was wrong with that. I thought, I just took that turn that a little too tight. Yeah, I took it too fast and too,
fast and tight.
Yeah, and so I mean, when you're young now, I don't know about you. I drive like Meme Grillon, like I'm 100 years old.
I drive very, very
and here's
meticulously.
Why. It's because I don't want any problems with my very expensive automobile.
Yeah,
that's it.
Or your car insurance.
Yeah, I don't want any issues. And it's not about obeying the law, although that should be. I drive slow so that I'm in control and I don't have any problems.
Do you still use snail mail occasionally?
I love snail mail.
All right, you better go out and buy it. You better go out and buy the always, what do they call them? Every time?
Forever stamps.
Oh, thank you. The forever stamps.
Yeah.
You might want to do that soon.
Why?
Because apparently the USPS, United States Postal Service, they're going to raise the price by a couple of shekels again. By the time July rolls around, a stamp's going to be 60 cents.
Remember when it was 10 cents?
I remember when it was like less than that.
Do you remember when a stamp was 10 cents? I do. I'm old. I'm half a century old. I remember that.
Yeah.
I do.
And lastly,
now it's how much? 60 what?
It's going to be 60 cents in July. It's 58 now.
Well, I mean, it's still cheap by,
Cheap?
I mean, by most things that we buy.
Yeah, right. 60 cents to mail snail mail, and the service sucks.
Hey,
please.
Can we get back to eggs for a minute? Can we go back, circle back there? Yeah. Because I wanted to say, listen, my best friend found out the hard way, and you'd think people would know this, but they do not. So she went to a place to buy cheap eggs, Dollar General.
Yeah.
And they're significantly cheaper. But there's a reason. When they arrived, they must have been all cracked. Well, she didn't know. She didn't think. And she makes the eggs for her dog. Well, how long were those? You can't use cracked eggs.
Of course not. They're rotten. You can't use rotten eggs. That's crazy.
Well, no, she did. And I swear, I think the dog got salmonella. Because, let's put it this way. Oh, Molly girl was running to the door crying about 10 times a day. Yeah. And every time there was terrible noises and some kind of explosion.
Montezuma's revenge.
Yeah.
Doggy style.
She's back to normal now. But
before we get to Jen's news, I want to say thank you to O'Hara Senior Care Services again for sponsoring not just the podcast, but also our Friday radio program on 1540 WADK, WADK.com, Fridays 2 until 4. At O'Hara Senior Care Services, you got somebody in your life who needs some help doing their everyday things, and they want to remain in their own home and maintain their dignity. O'Hara can help at 401-345-1811. That's 401-345-1811 for O'Hara Senior Care Services, and we thank them for sponsoring our fine podcast and our radio program.
Such important work.
Absolutely.
Such important work.
And, don't overlook that. All right, time for Jen's news. What do we got?
Well, we're going to do this quick because we have to talk about really important stuff.
That's
and
right.
So Jen's news, it's time for...
You got to have the theme. Jen's news.
Thank you. That's good.
What else?
It's getting worse every week. Burger King is getting sued. And, I'm kind of glad, and here's why. Because when you look at these commercials on TV, doesn't everybody, if you're hungry, you say, God, that looks good. And then the next thought is, it never looks like that when you go there.
No.
Never. So it's false advertising, right? Or is it?
Is it?
It's fairly common knowledge that the burger that you are served at a fast food joint doesn't exactly look like the ones that are advertised. So people are getting upset about this. 4 plaintiffs are taking Burger King to court over the size of their famous Whopper, claiming that Burger King exaggerates the size of the sandwich. This is a class action lawsuit, and it's filed in the U.S. District Court in Miami. And they say that advertised Whoppers that you see are based on false and misleading advertising concerning the size or the amount of ingredients contained in said menu item.
Yep.
And so, no, this is no joke.
No. It's, I think, 4 plaintiffs.
Yeah, and if they get, if they win this, I mean, they're going to get a significant amount of money.
They'll probably get a lot of free burgers.
Yeah. As for the company's response, folks, Burger King says it does not comment on pending or potential litigation.
Hey, there's a guy who's going on a very interesting diet for Lent.
Yeah, listen to this. An Ohio man decided to give up everything but beer for Lent again, and he's using it. See that I like this part. He's using it to raise money for charity. This guy's name is Del Hall. He's co-owner of Ohio's 16 Lots Brewing Company, and he began his all beer diet in 20. That's your kind of diet.
I'm off booze for the month of April.
Well, that's good. That's good. It's good for your organs.
Overall being.
Yeah. But I mean, it's your kind of diet. His all beer diet began in 2019 over the 40-day fast. Not only, listen to this, did he lose 40 pounds, but he said he felt great in the process. He just drank beer for 40 days.
Wow.
40 pounds he lost. Ever since Hall decided to make the fast his tradition, he began to add a goal to his unusual diet in 2020, raising money for charity while also losing weight. So he has a GoFundMe page, and I guess it's up to about 10 grand right now. So he's raising money for the Ken Anderson Alliance. It's a nonprofit organization that helps adults with disabilities find work and other opportunities.
Interesting.
So, the guy's name is Del Hall, so you can find him online.
Back to your burger story.
Yeah.
Remember the movie Falling Down with Michael
yeah.
Douglas?
Oh, yeah.
When he goes into Whammy Burger?
Oh, my God.
Let me see if I can call it up.
Whammy Burger.
Nah, he's just wandering into Whammy Burger. It's not going into the meat of the scene, but that's when he goes bananas because he says, "Look at that!"
He whips out that,
and then he has like an Uzi. But then he goes bananas because he can't order breakfast. But then he says, "I'll have a Whammy Burger," and then it comes out. He goes, "Look at this pathetic thing," and then he compares it to the picture. That's a very depressing movie.
That is I remember seeing that movie, thinking, "Wow,
Yeah, very strange."
Wow, I don't know if that kind of movie would get made now.
I don't think so.
Think about it.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Where did that come from? I don't know.
Why in the world and how did rabbits and eggs become symbols of Easter? The word Easter comes from the ancient Norse, which is what the Vikings called, turn the page, the festival of spring. The legend of a rabbit bringing Easter eggs is from German folklore, which tells of a poor woman who during a famine dyed some eggs, then hid them in a chicken's nest as an Easter surprise for her children. Just as the kids discovered the nest, a big rabbit leaped away, and the story spread, and it brought the eggs. So that is where that all came from, German folklore.
Wow, that's interesting. Do you know one year, I don't know why I did this. I'm such a weird person. So I graduated high school, but it's maybe a year or two before I joined the service. I just decided to go up the street and rent a rabbit's costume on Easter.
Why not?
And I was outside of my father's house. I was still living with my dad.
Waving?
Just waving to the school buses and all the kids. And so then my best friend, Dawn, she decided to go get a bear costume. So we were just sitting there waving.
That has no relevance to Easter.
There were no more Easter bunnies. And the thing about it is...
so Uncle Bear.
Yeah, the Easter bunny looks so creepy.
Yeah, well, those...
Really creepy.
Yeah,
wasn't even friendly looking.
No, those costumes. Adult
it had a dark side
Adult
to it.
rabbit costumes are very, very dark. Very dark side. Peeps, let's touch on Peeps for a second. Now, the only way to eat Peeps is you get the 6-pack of the Peeps, right? And you bust open the cellophane. You let them sit like that for about 4 days. They get quasi-stale, and then you dip them in your cocktail of choice, your cordial of choice. You might want to go Chivas Regal if you want to go Scotch. Might want to go, I don't know, Bailey's Irish Cream.
Well, I used to dunk them in Yukon Jack.
There you go.
And it burns as it goes down.
The only way an adult should eat a
Terrible.
Peep is that way. You dip the head in, you bite it off.
Yes.
And that's the way to eat a Peep. And by the way, I don't know if this is urban myth or folklore or not, but supposedly the eyeballs, the black painted eyes on Peeps are some type of glycerin that the human body does not digest. So supposedly, every Peep that you have ingested, the eyes are still inside of you looking out. So
Really?
just know that and celebrate Easter.
They don't come out of your body?
Nope. Supposedly they don't
Wow.
dissolve. Your body does not dissolve
They just
the
stick
Peeps.
around in
They
there?
stick around forever and
You
ever.
need some
Amen.
colon blow.
Colon blow. Forever and ever. Amen. Biggest bummer on Easter when you were a kid? Hollow chocolate bunnies.
Worst.
The worst.
Cheap hollow chocolate, though.
yeah,
I don't
cheap.
want to name brands because I
Cheap,
feel bad. But
hollow chocolate bunnies. Don't even go there.
no, it's awful.
Don't even go there.
What was your favorite kind of chocolate as a kid?
I was a kid. Anything.
Anything? Well, no. Did you like? For instance, I loved white chocolate
No, I didn't like white chocolate.
from Fanny Farmers. Remember Fanny Farmers?
Oh, yeah, Fanny Farmers. That was my mother's favorite candy, Fanny
Yeah,
Farmers.
my mom too.
Fanny
That's why we
Farmers.
used to get, we each get a big bunny in a little basket.
Not around anymore, by the way.
No, it's not. But they had the best white chocolate. I'll never forget.
I don't like white chocolate.
Oh, love white chocolate. I'll never forget one year. My brother got up before the rest of us, my sister and
ate
myself.
everything?
Well, no. What he did was he went on the Easter egg hunt by himself. And so I went into his room to get him up to say, because John and I were really good friends when we were little, a long time ago. Anyway, so I went into his room and he had all the eggs. And I said, no, you can't do that. So,
You hoarding bastard.
right. I said, come on, we'll hide the eggs again. So we hid them. I helped him hide the eggs. But he fell back asleep after he collected
And
them.
then you got them all.
No, and he was covered in chocolate. So my mom knew that he had done that. We tried to, fake her out.
If I wake up and I'm covered in chocolate, I'm thinking something else. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking something completely. Oh, God, I'm so sorry I did that. But anyway.
He was 5.
That's it. I like semi-sweet
was
chocolate.
5.
I like semi-sweet chocolate a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm
Chocolate.
answering your chocolate question.
That's good.
As I'm getting prepared to strap on the instrument,
Yes.
he said.
Yes.
What is Snap-on tools, by the way? I see that truck everywhere going by. What the hell
I
are they
don't
snapping?
know.
What are they snapping?
I've never
Snap-on
thought about
tools.
it.
It sounds obscene to me.
I've
Snap-on
never.
tools.
Well, I don't call anyone like that.
I don't either.
I
but
don't have anybody.
I see the trucks and I'm like, what the hell are you snapping on?
I'll ask if I see them pulled over.
All right.
I will. Did you
You say,
know?
hey, meep, what are you strapping on in there?
I'm not going to ask them that.
All right,
I'll
well.
get killed. Who knows in today's world? Well, today is put that device on. I'm waiting till he starts doing it.
See, I would have rehearsed. I would have tried to play Here Comes Peter Cottontail.
Well, it's not like, you didn't have time to
Let me
rehearse.
see if I can play it by ear.
All right. Well, meanwhile, I'll talk about today. Today, as you guys see this, well, actually it was last week, but you'll get this news a week later. It was Dog Farting Awareness Day today, okay, when we take this. What your dog passing gas says about their health is why we have Dog Farting Awareness Day. Is there any day that isn't a day? Anyways, today, the holiday started in 2014 with the Animal Rescue League of Iowa. And some dog owners are sharing memes and hashtags on socials. Now it's all about sharing tips for your pup's digestive health. And that's very, very important. In case you didn't know, flatulence in dogs is commonly caused by doggies swallowing air while eating, but excessive farting accompanied by vomiting or diarrhea can be a sign. Thanks. Because
Yeah.
we didn't know that is a serious health issue. But,
Hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way.
Hey,
Close.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, I'll just say, sometimes the dog that lives with me farts so bad you can taste it.
I love when they break.
Terrible.
I love when they break wind and they magically look back and where'd that come from?
No, Molly gets scared of her own farts. She farts and freaks out. And
Well,
she doesn't understand what's
She's a dog. That's why. All right.
not the brightest.
Thanks
dog.
again to O'Hara Senior Care Services.
Yes.
You can reach out to them if a loved one needs help staying in their own home. And, you need your life back, too. It's 401-345-1811. Follow us on our Friday program on 1540WADK.com, WADK.com, everywhere we stream. And that's between 2 and 4 on Fridays. Mondays, we're in the dugout.
Oh, yes.
On the Ocean State Current with Mike Stenhouse, live, by the way.
Live.
That
I
show
love doing
is
that show.
live between 4 and 5, so check that out at oceanstatecurrent.com. And lastly, boy, we're busy. Lastly, you can check our commentary. It drops every week on rinewstoday.com on Wednesdays. It's hotter than the lid of a potbelly stove. Have a great Easter, and I hope you don't get any hollow rabbit eggs.
Yeah, don't fall asleep in the chocolate.
No, God.
Say.
Oh, no, no.